Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 125 of the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. Hard to believe we are still at it. Hard to believe that we are still kicking it, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you, serving you on this podcast. In today's episode, we recount my visit to California. Happy birthday, Kate Dizzle, and all the different coffee experiences we had along the way. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
Called the Action Cam.
Yeah. Welcome to the Action Cam and welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. I'm Jake Goebel. With me, as always, is the incredible Mike Kincaid, straight over from Mike's Hour. And this is a show about coffee. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If you have been with us before, welcome back. We have a podcast. We have a blog. We have a YouTube channel. We have an Instagram TV channel that we are trying to create content for. We have a Facebook page, a Twitter handle, and an Instagram page handle, something or other.
Yeah, love handles. All
love handles. We have love handles. We have a Snapchat handle, whatever that is. I just do stories in Snapchat. That's it. I don't do a whole lot with it. And we also have a Vero account. So you can follow us or enjoy content or not on all those things. Yeah, or not. Or not. We try to do it, and it's just Mike and I.
It sounds like a list when you have like 10 kids. Like, oh, what are your kids' names? Well, we've got, and you just got to run through the whole list. Did I forget one? I always forget one.
It's funny. We were watching Rocky IV last night. Rocky IV is when he beats Ivan Drago in Russia, right? And at the end of the fight, after he's got this crazy monologue about two guys beating each other's faces in, and we can change. We can all change, whatever it is. And he says, "Hey, it's my kid who's at home, and he's watching, but he should probably be asleep. Hey, kid." And I was like, "Yeah, just it's kid." And so then I turned to my kids and I said, "There's kid 1, there's kid 2, there's kid 3, there's kid 4. And just call him kid. Hey, like kid. Yeah. Kid 1, kid 4.
Yeah.
Kid 2.
That's what bro is. Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
What up, bro?
Hey,
Richard,
you.
Brother. What up, brother?
It's good to see you again. Yeah. Oh, church is the worst because you get so many people like, "Hey, do you remember me?" Yeah. It's so good to see you again, brother.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Works well.
Yeah, it works well.
What's your name again?
Kid.
I don't.
Hey, kid.
Whatever. Hey, kid.
Hey, kid.
What's that?
Hey, kid.
It's an endearing term, though, I think.
Good to see you,
Especially
kid.
if it's your only.
Right.
That's my kid.
Hey, my kid. Hey, my kid. He should probably be in bed. Hey, kid.
Oh, no.
Oh, not Al the abs cramping up again. So if you haven't been joining us and you haven't had the chance to watch on YouTube,
dirty.
Mike cramps up.
One time.
His ab cramps up pretty good.
Been hitting it hard, with the weighted sit-ups and the
just like Rocky. Just like Rocky and Rocky IV. Yeah.
And touch the ceiling, toe touchers.
Yeah, very good. Very
Whatever
good.
you want to call them.
So I just got, normally we record this show on Tuesdays, but today is Thursday, and that's important for a couple of reasons. One, our World Cup. Germany is out.
Yeah.
Germany is out.
An update closer to airing. Yeah, your team, man, they lost.
It's done. Done. But so this comes out on Monday, and you will know that
South Korea, man.
Yeah, they lost to South Korea.
That was great. It was a good victory for them.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. Good job, South Korea. Congratulations. Good job, Mexico. Congratulations.
Mexico lucked out because had Germany won, they would have been outed.
Yeah.
So,
but instead, it was Germany that was outed. Anyways, that all happened while I was on vacation. I took a little vacay, and that was a nightmare.
Well, you're just going to skip over
the Germany, the World Cup?
No. That my team, Argentina, is still in it. They've advanced to the round of 16.
I was.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm not.
Okay.
Because even though they don't, we won't camp here, but they're not playing their best. But they made it. So let's hope they can pull it together.
Yeah. Good job. Congratulations, Argentina.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
All right, now
Mikey.
You can continue.
Yeah, I was supposed to go on vacation, and I did. And I was going to make drinks for everyone while I was there. It's kind of a long story, but it involved mojitos as well and coffee in the morning.
Mojitos?
So I brought all my coffee stuff, and I was like, meh, I'm not going to make that much coffee. I'm just going to bring my hand grinder.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
I'm just going to bring a hand grinder with me on vacation. While I was staying at my friend's house, that would have been a horrible idea. The missus said, hey, I think you should just bring your electric grinder as well, just in case. You know?
It's good to know somebody's thinking.
Might have to make a lot of coffee. You never know. And I was like, I was just going to bring this hand grinder. I think I'll be fine. As I'm sitting there grinding coffee by hand while we're having this conversation. It's taken a little while. And she's like, maybe just bring it. Maybe just bring it just in case.
You got room in the van. Throw it in there.
You got room. So the morning that I made coffee, I drove out there Friday. Friday was a travel day,
I guess.
So Saturday morning I made coffee, and there were a lot of people.
What, like at the house?
At the house.
Like
at the homie's house, at K Dizzle's house.
There was a lot of people there?
Yeah. Some were staying there. Others showed up later from their hotels and whatnot for his party. I went through an entire bag of Guatemala. Little Saguaro Guatemalan coffee in one morning.
Wow.
It was a lot of coffee.
It was a lot of people.
And I made some ChainFruit as well. And I made a lot of coffee. A lot of coffee.
Like, what are you doing there?
Making coffee.
And so what were you doing for these people?
It was insane.
Pour-overs?
Pour-overs for the ChainFruit. I did the Hario V60. For everybody else, I did AeroPresses. Yeah, just did the AeroPress.
What did you like? Did you like that? Was it an experience? Did you enjoy making that many coffees?
I did. I loved making that many coffees. I really enjoyed serving.
What did you use for hot water?
I used the Bonavita.
Oh, you brought that.
Third wave water. Yeah. And we give 2 third wave packets. It's more than enough. It's more than enough.
Depending on the brew ratio you use.
Yeah. To make a full bag.
With our recommended 16:1, I've calculated that several times that it was more than enough.
Yeah. It's definitely good.
Yeah.
It's definitely very good.
But some people might want to go a little weaker. And so
even
they don't go through as much coffee.
Even then, I think it's going to be fine.
Should be pretty close.
So, but that's not the only coffee that I drank while I was gone.
No. You drank others?
Yeah, I drank other coffee because I was like, oh, let me go out and buy some coffee because I'm out now. And there was a good majority of the people that were there, they wanted to drink it with cream and sugar. So I had to get out and buy some more coffee. What was I going to do?
I don't know, probably find a store nearby and buy the most expensive beans you could find.
That's exactly
what I did. For them to put
did.
cream and sugar into?
That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. I went to a coffee bean and tea leaf, and I bought 3 bags of coffee for $92. $92. I did it was a 16-ounce bag for $12 of a light roasted Brazil. And that light was dark. The light roast is not light. It is not light by any stretch of anyone's imagination.
It's light on the dark spectrum. It's the
to
lightest of the dark.
Compared to what they do, like roasting everything into little pieces of charcoal, then grinding them up and then calling it coffee, that's fine.
It's funny.
But I went in and the lady, she's sitting there when I bought a reserve coffee, 100% Kona, light roast, handcrafted, 12-ounce bag, roasted April 4th. It is May, June, almost July. It is almost 3 months hence. And I paid $40 for one bag.
Yeah, but it's good till August the 19th, so don't worry.
Good for a year and a half. No. So it's and it's all whole bean. They offered to grind it for me. Yeah.
Here's
they
$40
offered to
for
grind
this bag.
it for me.
Do you want us to kill it more?
Yes. Yes. It was.
I know it's not funny. Our snobbery's showing.
And
but
she's sitting there. She's like, hey, did you know that this is a $40 bag of coffee?
Just want to make sure.
She looked at me. She was embarrassed to sell it.
Yeah.
Just embarrassed to sell it. And I said, yes, I know it's a $40 bag of coffee. That's why I'm buying 2. But I figure we can talk about it here anyways. I haven't opened these yet. They should still be good till October of 2019. We ended up not drinking those. We went through the Brazil, most of the Brazil for people that wanted. I ended up not making much more coffee anyways for other people just because we went to the beach and we stayed in a different hotel. So I made myself coffee and that was kind of it from that point on.
There's some good key terms on here though. Handcrafted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
There's a lot of puffery and marketing fluff that we could steal from this if we wanted it.
Hand roasted.
Hand roasted.
We hand roast our coffees daily in small batches to a traditional smooth taste profile.
Yeah.
And then it says
100% pure Arabica.
Roasted to perfection.
To perfection.
Only the top 1% Arabica beans.
We should probably incorporate some of that because
carefully nurtured.
I was sitting
from
there thinking to
seed
myself, is this the standard? Like, what is Starbucks Reserve? I don't know what it is, but like this would be what we would do.
I think you know what similar.
I mean? This is similar to what we've got going on and what you've got going on if you're roasting your own coffee, right?
Light-bodied with a crisp
and
aroma.
They want $40 for it.
12 ounce.
It's insane. If you think about if this is the standard, what we provide is for half the price is way better. Way better.
It is a lot of marketing because really, yes, Jamaica Blue Mountain and the Hawaiian Kona
they're pricey.
They're pricey.
They're
beans,
pricey coffees,
mostly because of the scarcity. Like, there's not that many to go around and they have a unique flavor profile and taste, so they go for more.
Yeah.
But yeah, $40, buddy.
$40. So
if we did, you could get approximately, we'll round it up for the sake of conversation, 16 cups. So you're going to have $40 divided by our 16, $2.50 a cup.
It's a lot of money.
$2.50 a cup. So you're looking at $5 a day if you have 2 cups for this.
Yeah.
And is it worth it? We don't.
I haven't even tried it yet.
What are we doing with it?
We're going to brew and review it.
Oh, we're going to do a brew and review.
Yeah, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, but we're going to do it.
Well, we've got till August of 19, so give us some time.
Yeah, August of 2019. It's a lot.
August
is a lot of time, but it's totally good until then. They smell pretty good, but as I was sitting there,
they'll be excellent.
I almost bought some medium roasted coffee, right? And I asked to look at the medium coffee before I bought. It was so dark, those oils were dripping all over it. And I was like, this is medium? It's insane. And then I showed the light roasted Brazil that I ended up making for people. And one of the gals that we were with, she's like, oh yeah, that's totally light. I was like, that is not light. It is not light.
You don't know until you know.
So anyhow, and they asked, what's interesting is it says on there, on the display, if you buy whole bean, you get a cup of coffee, free cup of coffee.
Oh, right there.
Right there. And she asked me, do I want a cup of coffee? You know what I mean? Like she didn't go, I wasn't going to take it anyways, but I was like, if it were me, I would have gone out of my way to say, hey, did you know that you get a cup of coffee to go along with this $92 purchase? What coffee could I get for you?
We'll throw in a $1 cup of coffee for you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she was like, oh, did you want a cup of coffee? Is what almost like the way she said it made it sound like I would have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, this is part of the deal. Like I don't know. I think she was just totally embarrassed about.
So these come with a free cup. What can I get you?
Yeah.
I would recommend this or
there
that.
There should be 3. You know what? I'm going to give you whatever you want free today. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to give you 2, one for you and one for your wife. What do you guys want? You know what I mean? Could have made the experience much better, even though the experience wasn't great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially when you're dropping that.
Especially when you're dropping nearly $100
even on these
coffee.
Bags, on these reserve bags, they say grind only as much as you need for 1 cup or a pot of coffee.
Yes.
And so even on the bag, and that's where there's a disconnect. It's like the bag is telling you one thing, but then the individual in the store is saying, hey, can I grind that for you?
Yeah.
And you're dropping $40 on the bag. You shouldn't pre-grind.
No.
There's a time and a place for pre-grinding. We're not against it in every circumstance, but when you're spending this much money because you're buying something special that's going to have unique flavors and tastes and you want to enjoy it, recommending to pre-grind it is a disservice.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Especially when it's contrary to even what's recommended on the bag. So, and I'm not against companies doing what they want to do. That's fine.
You too.
It's just they're taking advantage of the consumer.
Yeah.
It just doesn't know.
Yeah.
They really are. And they're putting puffery on there and they're saying, hey, this is something that it's not and that we're the best and you're not going to find it better anywhere else.
And the experience suffered as well. You're paying top dollar for a less than top dollar experience.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And the same thing happened when I went to the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf in Oxnard. I had a different coffee experience, but it was still the same thing.
That's too bad.
It was less than awesome. The manager came out. He was rude to the guy let me back up a little bit. So we would go up to the front counter, and the friend that I'm with asks, "Hey, when was the coffee brewed, like the batch brew?" Yeah. And she's like, "Should I drink that?" And I looked at her, I was like, "I wouldn't," because it was like 2 hours ago. It was like 2 hours ago. It was 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't do it. Sorry. Whatever his name was. Whatever dude's name was, I said, I wouldn't drink it. Oh, he's like, well, I'm going to make a new one for you. He never made it. He gave her old stuff. Never made the fresh batch.
Yeah.
Gave her old stuff to drink.
He's not gonna
but
know.
it was busy. Yeah,
Loaded
exactly.
Up with cream
it's
and
just
sugar.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And so I asked him, I said, hey, what's up with the vanilla bean cold brew? Something's like, is it a subtle? A little bit of cream, a little bit of sweetener? He's like, oh yeah, very subtle. I get it. It was like drinking syrup. So it's like you tell them exactly what they want to hear. Dude looked like he was new and it looked like a sucky place to work. Really? The manager came out. The environment. He was jawing at him. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was straight jerk mode. It did. I felt sorry for the kid afterwards. I was like, okay, well, he's in a no-win situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's not a good representation of handcrafted specialty.
He can't provide the wow.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know. He just doesn't know.
Yeah.
And it's like they just rush him. They just rush him into it. And I wonder. It got me wondering.
Uh-oh. You start thinking?
These companies, I know, I shouldn't. Are these companies just too big? Is that the problem?
I mean, because, right, it's a good question. They started, same with Starbucks. They all started with a passion, with a mission, with a
We hand roast our coffee daily in small batches to a traditional smooth taste profile. This is the way we've done it since 1963 when we opened our first store in Brentwood, California. Hearkening to their history.
Yeah. It's the way we've always done it.
I believe that their companies are so big, they have forgotten what it is like to delight customers.
Yeah.
They are too big to do it. You have CEOs
this is kosher too.
that have never, I know, I saw a little on there, logo on there.
Icon, yeah.
But you have CEOs that do not know what it is like to serve people. You have managers who are under so much pressure just to make sales.
Yeah. Hit quotas.
Meet sales goals and quotas that they don't care about the people or their employees. It was just obvious. Both of these Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves that I went into, they did not care. Similar
feeling. Yeah.
They just don't care.
It's such a miss because if you realize it, those things are what are going to make you successful.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But can't you argue that they're successful in spite of all their shortcomings? Aren't they profitable? They're building more. They've got more cafes than we do.
But see, that's just it. Are they going to remain there? That's the thing. Now with information and being able to discuss and tell people about it and enlighten them to what's out there and what they can truly have for a much better price, I think that they're going to be threatened. Now, they have the deep pockets like Starbucks to shift. And I think you're seeing that a little bit with Starbucks. Yeah.
Well, you're seeing the pivot right here. You're holding the pivot in your hand.
Sure, with the reserve.
The reserves. That at least to some extent, they are acknowledging that their bread and butter, their main product, is lacking in quality. There is something better out there, and they are trying to serve the community that wants something better.
People are going to see through it, though, I think. Given enough time, they're going to see that, okay, they're just putting it in fancy packaging, throwing some keywords on there, charging a lot of money, but they don't really care. They asked if they could grind it. You know what I mean? Let's just dump that whole thing through this grinder and get you going.
Just don't know. They don't know and don't care, and managers don't know, don't care.
But
it's just whatever.
There's going to be consumers that they're content with that, and they're cool, and they do their thing, so they might always have a market. I would hope that unless they started caring, that they would actually, suffer. So they don't deserve to win if they're going to be tricking people.
They don't.
I want to see the little guys that are out there hustling, serving, really doing good things.
We need
and
more.
Care about the experience of their customer.
We need more small cafes. We need more.
I mean, because one way to look at it, right, is every dollar you spend with a company is almost like a certificate of appreciation. When you give them more money of your money that you've worked for and earned and have chosen not to spend elsewhere or on something else, and you provide it to this company for a service or a product, you're saying, I appreciate you this much. And when you have $90+ of appreciation in 3 bags of coffee, you should be given a wow. You should be given a service, and it should feel like you walk out of there like, hey, I got something special. I was treated well, and then should follow up with the product. Now, that aside, we haven't tried it yet. So we're going to reserve, I guess, a complete final judgment.
All I can comment on is what we've done. The Brazil the light roast was a little darker than I wanted for a light roast. It tasted okay. Yeah. And it wasn't very expensive. It was $12 for 16 ounces, but the service was not good.
Yeah.
So now we've got the coffee. I also stopped at a Starbucks in Barstow.
Oh, good.
Yeah. In a drive there.
Hadn't had enough, huh?
And I hadn't had enough bad coffee, but this is what I got to tell you. I just want to let you know that it's all still the same. Mocha tastes the same as it always did. It's not terrible, but it's not really worth the money. There's not a lot of deliciousness going on at Starbucks. It's just kind of blasé. It's just kind of like meh. However, the first time, once I stopped just to use the bathroom and I didn't get kicked out, so yay. And then secondly, because it was so busy, that little stop there on Barstow at I-40, I-15, where they kind of intersect is so busy. Second time on the way back, I actually stopped in and ordered some things, some food.
Oh, nice. So you repaid them.
Yeah, of course. I always repay them. Yeah. But I just want to let you know, nothing exceptional, nothing special, but still same old, same old. The last coffee shop that I stopped at, it's called Underground's Coffee in Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Santa Clarita is a nice place.
It was a third wave shop.
Yeah.
And it was very good. And here I took a picture of the menu for those of you who care about those types of things. What I thought was interesting about the menu is they had little stars on the things that were available iced or cold.
Oh, like you can get either way.
Yeah. So at first it was espresso. So this was the double, the doppio. Was on there was $2. An Americano was $2.50.
Okay. Not bad.
Cortado was $3. A cappuccino was $3, which I thought was a little interesting because cappuccinos typically has a little bit more milk into it, but whatever.
Whatever.
A latte was $4. A vanilla latte was $4.50. Okay. A mocha was $4.75.
Oh, here we go.
A lavender latte was $4.50, and a signature latte was $4.50.
Okay.
They gave me the cortado. I said 2 cortados and a mocha. Can I get the mocha to go? And they put the cortados in paper for me.
They put it all to go?
In a paper cup. I was disappointed. I was like, you should have glass for these. And I was like, oh, we do. And then I was like, should always put those in a glass. The cortado should always come in a glass. And I was like, it's not steam. It was a little too hot as well. But let me tell you, it was okay. I think I stressed him out a little bit because I was talking so much to him. But Johnny was fantastic. Johnny knew all about the coffees, all about where they got their coffees from. Yeah. He knew all about the business. Johnny was fantastic. Johnny made the experience.
Yeah, that's nice.
$2 for drip coffee or batch coffee, $4 for cold brew, and market price for a pour over. I don't like seeing market price.
Market price. Well, it depends what coffee it is and what they got it
at. I know. You're right.
Oh, I was just explaining it in case somebody didn't realize.
It. Like Press does the same thing because you're going to pay more for the Jamaica Blue Mountain than you are for something else or whatever. But it's just for the consumer. It's like, well, what's the market price?
Yeah.
And there's no way to find out.
You can have a fluctuating.
You're just not going to sell a lot of pour overs when that's the case.
Yeah.
If somebody,
it turns you off.
If people come in and they don't even know how much it costs, the majority of folks are not going to ask.
Should you ask? Yeah, exactly. I think you can have a fluctuation. Like if you have a nice coffee that's $1 more, just change the menu. I think if you can have a menu that is easy to
make
change.
It easy for them to look at. Yeah.
Erase the little chalk and put 2 instead of 1. I don't know.
It looked like it was good. Like the mochas, it was Mona.
Did they roast or did they feature?
No, they feature other roasters. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they feature other roasters.
Well, at least you had one redeeming stop.
Yeah, it was good. And I asked, hey, how many other third wave shops are there in Santa Clarita? And he knew what was going on in the coffee industry locally. It's like, there's another shop over here. They're really good. And there's another shop over here. They're okay. There's a Bodhi tea leaf. Bodhi.
Oh, yeah, Bodhi leaf.
Bodhi leaf. There you go. Thank you. Not
Bodhi tea leaf.
It's a
Bodhi
coffee.
tea leaf. Excellent coffee.
It's the old coffee bean and tea leaf. It's the Bodhi bean and tea leaf.
Bodhi has done some good things. Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, Bodhi's a good place to go. And then there's one more place. So there's two other places. He knew them. He knew about them. He knew what was going on with them and knew where they were. And yeah, it was cool. It was a great experience. And it was a beautiful location. The thing that I didn't like, and I don't want to camp here for too long, but he's like, oh,
I already got the tent out.
We're a ministry of the church across the parking lot.
Okay.
And I was like, a ministry?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we have a donation jar. You know, like we switch donations, but it's like you have, you know, if you put money in there, it goes to a charity.
So the church owns it.
The church owns it.
So the revenue goes to the church.
Yes. It's
interesting. Anyways. What was the name of it again?
It's called Underground's Coffee. And I guess it used to be underground underneath the church.
Oh, it's actually
something along those lines. Yeah, it used to be in the church building. Mm-hmm. Now it's out and about. It's been free across the parking lot.
Yeah,
so.
Gotcha.
Anyhow, it was good.
Reminds me, wasn't that also when we were in Vegas and we went to Mothership? Maybe they weren't directly associated with the church, but a lot of the people that work there.
Yeah.
We were talking to some of them too.
Yeah, I think one of the baristas.
Maybe just one. Well, and then one of the patrons. But yeah, maybe the shop itself wasn't.
I don't think the shop was. The shop itself was associated with a different cafe. Remember? But there was like two different business models. Like one is kind of this third wave, you know, bougie shop. And the other one was kind of a second wave, you know, a lot of
traditional
mocha magic, chocolate sauce on the glass type of thing. So that was.
Well, we've seen those before because you visited one out in Chino too. That was associated with a local church.
Yeah,
Overflow.
Yeah, it was terrible.
You didn't care for that experience.
No, it was bad service and bad coffee. It was miserable. It was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And then, you know, and I don't want to get stuck on overflow again.
No, we're camping.
But somebody reached out, some social media manager or whatever reached out and said, well, you know, we're trying to teach kids how to, you know, do underprivileged kids how to do customer service.
That's how they sounded in the text.
That's exactly how they sounded in the text. I'm like, bro, you're failing. I didn't say that. I'm like, okay, perfect. Thanks. Whatever. But you garbage coffee, garbage service, like rude.
Yeah.
You're failing. And you know what? You deserve to fail. But I guess if people in the church want to put money into it, then, you know what I mean? That's what I don't like about it. It's like, okay, well, we're going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
We're going to keep having this coffee shop.
It becomes an excuse.
It's an excuse
for not providing.
It's an excuse for not delivering the wow.
Yeah, that's when it's more of a hurdle and a disservice. They keep using that word, but it really is.
Absolutely,
it's a detriment. It doesn't teach them. I mean, because there's a difference, right? When you go somewhere and somebody's new and they mess up and they go, "I'm so sorry," and the manager comes, "I apologize. You know, we're trying to do X, Y, and Z or whatever.
Or just they care.
Let's make it right for you." As opposed to, well, take it easy on them. You know, don't tell us we need to up our service.
Yeah.
You know, this because
or our quality.
We're doing this on the side. It's really for you. So just be happy.
Yeah, you should appreciate this top dollar.
And I could go with them there if it was free.
Yeah,
like hey, this is free. You're getting free coffee.
It's like, man, let's not complain.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're charging top dollar.
I'm charging money
for garbage.
Anyway,
for garbage.
Yeah, so we see that from time to time. These associations, for whatever reason.
I don't like them. I've never. Well, Undergrounds was good.
Yeah.
Undergrounds was good.
Kind of a mixed bag there.
Yeah. But while I was gone on my little vacation,
I enjoyed it.
There's a couple things that happened while I was gone. And Daily Coffee News, Nick Brown, my man, Nick Brown, he has this article. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. He says, green coffee fetches record-breaking $105 per pound.
I like it.
At Geisha Village auction.
Geisha Village?
Yes. Ethiopia. In the highlands of western Ethiopia, $105 per pound.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty pricey. Well, which also is in the news, which is interesting, and maybe it coincides with that. We're getting reports that coffee production is low. This year is one of the lowest for many farmers over the last 3-4 years. And then even Howard Schultz, the former CEO, came out and said that he thinks the next few years you might see a shift because of just low crop.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, and so prices might go up because of that, or there might be a change in offerings.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that happens. Or you got to grow it yourself.
Yeah.
Also, what happened while I was gone, again from Daily Coffee News, Howard Bryman reported that Ikawa launches the Pro V3 sample roaster.
Yeah, they've been out there.
It looks so cool, this Pro V3. But $4,790, which includes shipping and taxes.
Yeah, they're fancy little machines. I've heard mixed reviews about them.
Slick, but like they are very visually appealing. Mm-hmm. Like as far as like a go taste experience, like it doesn't look real. You know, it's not like over the open fire or whatever, but they look cool.
Yeah,
they look very clean, very slick, almost very Ileo Bullet-ish. You know what I mean? With that just very...
They have a nice design.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just very pretty to look at, very minimalist. It's just
what a lot of
looking really good.
Companies have been doing is they're portable. They take them on Origin. They take them to different places and they can do little just sample roasts. Yep. Yeah. But speaking of that, if we're kind of announcing some cool things.
Yeah.
Ileo. And it is Ileo.
It is Ileo.
It is. Well, that's how the...
Not Aleo.
One of the executives said it in a video I watched. He said Ileo. Introducing their next roaster, and they call it Bullseye. It's a 2 kilo high efficiency roaster that's still kind of in production, they said, but they wanted to announce it. They say it's going to be geared towards shop, these little cafes that want a dedicated shop roaster.
Yeah.
And the goal, they say, is that it truly will have controls and automation built in, that it does not have to be attended to. You can walk away and do other things while it's running profiles.
You can get your coffee going, and then you can go be rude to customers, and then come back to it.
And it's done. They say, now the Bullet does have automation, and you can play back profiles, but it's not completely hands-off. If you care about quality, you have to watch it. You got to make adjustments for many different things. But this one, depending on how it works, might be different, meaning that if it's constantly reading temperatures and it can adjust on the fly automatically, the heat, the air, which, to stay on a curve and account for these variables, maybe in humidity or whatever, that's cool. And that's exciting. With that, though, they also announced something else that's, I thought, pretty cool, is it's a first, at least according to them, and as far as I know, they have come up with a new way to monitor bean temperature. What's a sensor?
I'm wondering because the Bullet right now, the Bullet is 2.2 pounds. It's a kilo.
1
roaster.
kilo. Yeah.
This is a 2 kilo
2
roaster?
kilo.
Okay. Sorry,
it's double.
It's the 1 and the 2 got me confused. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's double the capacity, and they say you can do back to back. They said don't let that fool you. Even in one of their publications, they said this can do a lot more than the Bullet. So maybe just it's more efficient and back to back. But this new sensor that they're coming out with the Bullseye, they said that they're going to make it available for Bullet owners as well. And it was reasonable. I forget the price, $180, $200. But it's an infrared bean sensor, which they say is a first, where they can actually read.
Sounds like the Predator.
Because they have an infrared sensor for the drum, which is unique, where they can actually say what the drum temp is. But now they're going to have one for the bean. So you can know exactly
like a laser
in real time what the surface temperature of the beans are. And that's huge. Because before, we've all relied upon probes. And probes are just only as good. They bump up against the beans. And so the probe has to change temperature just from contact. And that can be really slow. And in some cases, way behind. You're seeing things that maybe a minute, the temperature of the beans were at that reading a minute ago, but it's taken that long for the probe to adjust. Not so with the infrared. It's instant. Yeah. So you can see changes in real time.
That's very cool.
And they say this is new in the coffee roasting world.
The Bullet right now is going for about $2,600.
Yeah, give or take.
What is the Bullseye?
They didn't announce a price.
They didn't say?
No.
But if it's twice the size...
Well, I think as long as it's sub 5,000, they're still underpriced. I mean, compare it.
The V3 is $4,790, and it's a tiny little guy.
Yeah. 2 kilo roasters, I mean, you pay for different benefits, different features.
Sure.
Right? But if you're looking for a 2 kilo traditional roaster, you're 5, 6, 7K plus. Yeah. So I think it will be very competitive. And this thing it's got a small footprint. I don't know. It's exciting. And I think it's also cool how they develop these new technologies and then they say, hey, all the boat owners, we're going to make it available to you. Yes, you have to pay for it. Fine. But you can install it. And they come out with a new control board you can upgrade to. There's a few other things they're working on. And I think that's cool. It's a mark of a good company, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like it. I like it.
So,
we also, speaking of roasting, we want to offer a decaf.
Well, we've thrown that idea around. Yeah. We mentioned it last time.
While I was out there hanging with the homies,
a
couple things happened. Two things happened.
Oh, yeah. Just two?
Well, a lot, but two specifically for our coffee.
In conversation.
One is my man Jeff had an experience with the ChainFruit. He traced it for the first time ever, that naturally processed Ethiopian.
Little sound effect I'm hearing in my head.
And he said,
the heavens open up.
A decaf is good to go.
Yeah. He's on board with decaf.
But what scares him from decaf is this. So one, he had a
cancer.
No, he's like, how does it happen? It's like, it's scary. Because isn't it a bunch of chemicals? How do you make a coffee decaf? Mm-hmm. So I think if we offer one, we're just going to have to make it, we're going to have to, it's not going to be enough to just say SWP and drop it. Because people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
People don't know what it is.
Some don't.
And some, I'd say, a lot don't.
Yeah.
And they don't want whatever chemicals it takes to decaffeinate a coffee. It just doesn't make any sense. It seems unnatural. It seems like you've done something to it that is not healthy for me in order to make it
the perception
decaf.
But when you realize what it is, like,
so SWP is good. I told them what it is, like, that makes sense.
And in fact, I think they retain their organic stamp through the whole process. Like there's nothing introduced that would, and there's other processes, but you're right. What is this? What am I drinking?
What is this demonic apparition in front of me?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. Coffee is supposed to have caffeine.
It does. Yeah.
And these same homies, they, after conversing, after them going on the site and buying some coffee from us, they had 10 things that came up in conversation. And I thought we might talk about those as far as from a business standpoint. For the website and for just kind of things.
10 observations?
10 observations
that
they thought that I wanted to drop on you. Mike has not heard any of these yet.
That's what you think.
When shopping on our site, after they add one coffee to the cart, this was all on the phone, on an iPhone, there was no back to shopping. There's no way for them to get back to. They had to go.
Were they on Androids?
Re-navigate. No, they weren't. There was no.
Just teasing.
There was no back to shopping. There was you can go look at your cart, but there was no back to the coffees, back so I can go do more shopping. It was inconvenient as I was sitting there helping them buy stuff from our site. It was inconvenient to buy a lot. Buying one coffee was easy.
Yeah,
buying multiple stuff was not.
Yeah, okay.
They also cared about the tax information. When you say on there, go to shipping and taxes is what you click on the button, right? After you add it to the cart, you go to shipping and taxes. No tax information comes up. So the consumer is left wondering, did you forget about taxes? What's going on with taxes? Which I thought was a little interesting. Shipping and taxes calculated at checkout.
Yeah.
And then you go to checkout and it automatically puts you at priority shipping, $6 flat rate, no options, but nothing about taxes. Yeah, so it's a little confusing. And to us, it was like, well, if it didn't charge you, don't worry about it. But to the consumer, it's like, I don't understand this. I'm a little weary of it. Also, they said that there's no mention of a secure shopping cart. There's no indication of it. And I was like, no, there's a little green, there's the lock and there's a little green thing up in the browser window. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't, not everybody knows what that means. Mm-hmm. A lot of customers want to know. They want you to tell them, hey, this is a secure shopping cart experience.
Yeah. They want the assurance.
They want the assurance of me telling them.
Yeah.
They want me showing up and rubbing their shoulders and saying, hey, this is secure.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is totally normal.
I think oftentimes, from my perspective, I don't want to be told that. I want to see the lock. I want to see the indicators that I know can't be faked or are harder to fake.
Yeah.
right? But for the maybe other people that don't.
Maybe you're just a more savvy consumer.
Well, yeah, not maybe to put it one way. But yeah, you're right. It's a good point. These are good. Keep going.
Fourth, we should be on Amazon. They were like, you need to get on Amazon. And I was like,
maybe.
Exactly.
I think Amazon has got some problems that we don't have to get into right now.
Number 5, subscriptions for coffee.
Yes.
And I said,
that's on our list.
Because we talked about Shopify and the plugins and that it costs money. And my man, Jeff, he says this. He looked me in the eyeball. Look me in the eyeball, Mikey. Pay the money for the plugin.
Yeah. Well,
that's what he said.
To remind you, though, we have a lot going on with the website. We're holding off because we're hoping to have 3.0.
Some other improvements.
Exactly. So, yes, but you're absolutely right.
It's one of the things that we
kind of came to that realization when we were having trouble with the buy button because we were saving a little bit of money. We're like, let's just do the $20, $30. Yeah. So he's right. I agree with him.
6, we need to offer gift sets. And this is all unsolicited, by the way.
This is and
you guys
ears are ringing.
I was about to say, if you guys have listened, those of you who have listened to the show and kind of where we've peeled back the curtain, which we do quite frequently, and let you know about the business side of what we're thinking
to do,
you know that's kind of what we do.
That's a good point. These are great.
He's a manager of a company, and he spends between $100 and $150 on Christmas gift sets for his employees. Oh, yeah. And it's like, what am I going to get? And it's like, if you solve a problem for them, in this case, there are managers out there looking for Christmas gifts for their employees. Sure. One-stop shop. And if it can be high-end coffee, $100, $150, you solve a problem for them. Yeah. It's good. And it reminded me of like Gary Vee, where he was talking about, targeting managers on Facebook, where you can find specific titles and specific companies of certain sizes where you can then target them and say, hey, what are you getting your, employees for?
No, it's got great. It's got
salesmen for Christmas.
Many target audiences. I think that's great. Yeah. Cool.
And I said, gift sets about that.
It's just putting it together and making it cost effective. We've been on a long research journey trying to find the right products to put in that.
And it takes time.
It does.
And they're like, you got to get on it because December's going to be here soon.
Exactly.
And we agree.
We want it to be sweet, not just.
Also, they're like, where's the newsletter sign up? If I want more information about your page, it is very difficult to find the newsletter sign up page. And then I said, well, we have not sent out a single newsletter.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to do that. Mm-hmm. One of them wanted us to have Aubrey do it. Jan. Yeah.
It's like, hey, what's at the bottom,
make
right?
Aubrey right.
Yeah. Join our mailing list.
Yeah, that's on the store. If you go to the regular site, it's about impossible to find.
Well, I think, and that's I agree with it. We did that on purpose because we were because some pop up. Right?
Yeah, and we don't want the pop up and the distraction.
Of the spectrum, right? It's like, hey, sign up.
We're on
you
the
sure
far
you don't want to sign up? Let me ask you one more time before you leave the site. You sure?
I told him, I said, we are so far on the opposite end of the spectrum that I have no idea how these 104 people right now that we have on our mailing list.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to you. Because
where did you find this?
I have no idea how you found a way to sign up on our newsletter.
Well, I think a lot of it is through Shopify. When they order, it asks.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. The main site doesn't have.
And then they also encourage to have coffee reviews on the site. And I was like, we've got some reviews. And they're like, well, you need to hear about it. And then they also recommended offering a 5% discount to get reviews. That's how important they thought reviews were. So that was the business feedback.
Very good feedback
that we got. I've
probably
put
the most valuable part of the whole trip, Jake.
No. Me making them coffee was the most valuable part of the whole trip. Yeah. Me hanging out with them. They got to hang out with me. That was the most valuable.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. That was a good rundown. Good trip. I know the camera's off, so there's probably looking at some still image of Jake making a face at this point. We're trying a new setup, working with some new gear, and this little trial and error. And forgetting a memory card is never good.
Well, we're trying to, again, since we're talking business.
Did you just make a face?
Yes, I did. So it's just in case.
The camera's off, buddy.
But we're trying to generate more content for Instagram TV as well, and that means putting a camera sideways to get a vertical
Yeah, 9 by 16 as opposed to 16 by 9.
Right. So whatever that means, we're working on it. We're working on that stuff.
And even the main show, we knew
we're trying to do stuff.
Angles could make it a little more appealing to watch instead of one static.
That's what we're doing.
We're working up to it. I got 2 cameras finally.
Always trying to make it better.
And I just ran out of memory on this one. So anyhow.
Perfect. Sounds like the story of my life. Running out of memory. Running out of brain power.
Running out of appreciation certificates too along the way. Need to get more of those.
Is that it?
Oh, I think we're done. Goodbye.
We're done, and you can find the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 125. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you next time.